The Gore and Lore Girls, is that they had their history down pretty well. They had books with photos of what they were talking about historically, which added a nice touch. And they quoted their sources for some of the lore as well. So now they were talking about the veils and covering of the face. Now, New Death photography was pretty popular in this time, and it was common. I mean, it was expensive, so it was very common that your best photo that you had in your life was your post-mortem one. And apparently they had devices to prop you up and to hold the eyes open. Sometimes the coins, which goes back into the prehistoric lore of having coins for the Huron, the boat guide who would take you to the other world. And so that tradition continued, but a lot of times it was to prop the eyes open. She also said something about them scratching the eyes out and then filling them in later, I guess through paint or whatnot. But it's interesting, the death photography, especially in the Victorian age. While the images are grim and creepy, they're phenomenal from a historical perspective. I really do enjoy exploring that side of the world and history, as well as gravestones. I love gravestones, so I'm a big fan, as you've noticed, some of my photography going around graveyards doing, I used to do gravestone etchings, but that's not so great for the graves, so kind of ceased my practice in that. So she highlighted that death was quite an ordeal. I mean, you had to make the body presentable, you had your post-mortem photography, you had your death photos, you had the viewings, you had to make sure the body didn't stink, it didn't decompose before all the family got to have their grieving time with it. And then she went on into the history of Bellingham, which was great. About the Four Corners, which Bellingham today, as it stands, was actually the towns of Sahome, Bellingham, Wadcombe, and between those, and then eventually took over. So she went through the town summons about they had to remove all the bodies from the streets, and all the bodies had to be moved up to the hill. Of course, that's the locals that were poor or would have to move their loved ones and their caskets to the Bayview up the hill. And sometimes that had been done by the trolleys, off and on, and then bring it back on. They eventually had a casket car that's it took longer than expected. So that obviously disturbed the unrest of the spirits, and who knows, we all know what that could lead to, right? We've seen poltergeist. Anyways, fun history of Wadcombe and where downtown Bellingham is today. I need to investigate Sahome and Fairhaven more.